let's jump into the next portion of this episode, and this is going to be our top 5 games of 2018. 2018 had a lot to offer, and I think we might have some variety here. There's going to be, to kick things off, we're going to do some honorable mentions, because with the top 5 list, there's definitely some things that fall off. So I'm going to kick things off, and I have a few honorable mentions, so bear with me. I won't go into too much detail.
How much do you count a few? Because normally a few is 3.
I have 5.
Oh, okay, that's not bad. That's not bad. I thought you were going to go double digits here.
This is kind of open interpretation, but DK Tropical Freeze got ported to the Switch this year.
Yeah, I didn't count ports in mine.
That's an excellent side-scroller if you've not played it. It's definitely worth a check out. If you're a side-scroller fan, it's a beautiful game, great soundtrack.
Now with Funky Kong.
Which kind of breaks it.
Yeah.
Which, in honesty, like, that game got some backlash for being as difficult as it was when it released, and Funky Kong fixes that. So, Shadow of the Colossus came out this year, back in February, and I played it for the first time, not originally playing it on the PS2. Not the mechanics don't exactly hold up as well in modern gaming times. The game's beautiful. It's a little open and barren, but that's fine. And being able to play the first time on PS4 and the way it was presented with the box and the steelbook, it was a great game. I'm glad I got to play it this year.
It's probably one of the best collector's editions you got this year.
Yeah, for sure. Pokemon Let's Go Eevee Edition. I can say I haven't officially beat it, but the time I played with it was really fun. And we did some trading.
Had to throw the Eevee edition out there, huh?
Yep.
Under the ditch.
My other one, Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu. Also good.
Straight trash.
It was fun to see Kanto in a fully rendered 3D HD. Looks great. I'm not sure the appeal of going back to Kanto going forward, but it was fun. Super Mario Party.
Yep.
This was a fun... anytime we play Mario Party in groups, it's always a fun time. And Super Mario Party nailed it with going back to the original formula and offering some variety with things to do. So every time I played that with you guys or with family or friends, it's been fun. So worth mentioning. And too much controversy. One game that did not make my top 5 was Spider-Man.
Oh, wow. No shit, John.
We're already going to throw some
Yeah.
controversy in on the
Shady.
honorable mentions.
This
We're
was
not even at 5
tough.
yet.
Top 5. I played quite a few games this year. And to cut down to 5 was tough.
I'm in shock.
Spider-Man would have been in my number 6.
The first 4 are Red Dead 2.
Wow.
I loved Spider-Man. It was
Obviously not.
I think the only reason it didn't make my top 5 was it felt like playing a Spider-Man game, which is good, but it didn't have anything that really like resonated with me. It just was like a fun time to play as Spider-Man.
Wow.
So those are my honorable mentions.
Dishonorable mentions.
Yeah, damn.
John's canceled. We're done with John.
Brent?
All right, I'll just knock mine out. First one was Mario Party. It was a nice touch, throwback to the original series. The last 2, I think, we've discussed.
9 and 10, yeah.
Some hot garbage.
Woof.
I think we rented it once, and I'm like, I'm never touching this game again.
Oh, I bought it.
Jake bought it.
Yeah, we didn't rent shit. Paid $60 for that garbage.
Well, about that. Yeah, so it's nice. It's a great, like I said, it's good to have a good Super Mario Party game back. Next one was Let's Go Pikachu. Eevee can go fuck himself. Yeah, like I said, it's nice to see a remake finally on something else besides a goddamn Game Boy.
Yeah.
I don't have to get cramps
That's
to play
cool.
the stupid game. So that's nice. And it's the original 150, so it's the best in my opinion. Before they get too crazy. And then the last one, I don't know if I would even put it in my top 5, but it was just the newest WoW expansion. Anyway,
Gotcha.
I didn't hate it. It wasn't great. I didn't love it, but it was fun. For
It
what I
was a
played.
WoW expansion.
Yeah, yeah. So
Very nice.
Okay, I'll run through mine really fast. I don't know how many I have. We talked about Super Mario Party. That was probably one of the best gaming nights that I've had all year.
Yeah.
It's fun when you get a big group of people together and just like have a ball.
Right.
Mario Tennis Aces.
Ooh, nice.
I really liked the story mode. I thought was pretty strong. It's just best when you have other people to play with. I didn't have a lot of opportunities to do that this year.
Sure.
let's see here. I have a couple cell phone games that I'm just going to run through.
Please do.
Because they're not on my top 5 at all, and we haven't talked about them really ever.
And I think you're probably the most qualified to talk about mobile games here, because I don't think the rest of us are really into big mobile games.
Yeah, I have like a big block of 3 that came out this year that I've played and I don't play anymore. I guess one of them I kind of do. The first one is Donut County. It's
nice.
on other systems, but I played it on my cell phone because it was the cheapest. It was like $5 there.
Sure.
And it just makes sense. I love Katamari Damacy. And this is pretty much that concept. Instead of putting everything into a ball, you're just a hole, and you're trying to make your hole bigger to suck more things in.
Interesting.
It's really fun.
Excuse me?
Yeah.
This is rated G, sir.
I'm not going to say anything else. But
I said fuck earlier.
Yeah, that's true.
Donut County it's on PC, it's on Switch. It's just like $15 there. So I wanted to go cheap. It works fine. You just move your finger to move the hole. It's good. Next one I just played a couple days ago because I've heard nothing but good things about it. It's Florence.
Ooh, yeah.
Have any of you heard about this?
Yes, yep.
Literally takes half an hour to play the entire thing. And I would count this as like an interactive comic than I would a video game.
Gotcha.
But the story is pretty good. There's no words in it, and there's some gameplay aspects that are really cool. Like they're having a conversation. It's a couple, a boy and a girl, and once the guy talks, you're supposed to talk. And like when you first meet, you have like 6 or 8 puzzle pieces that you try to put into like a word balloon. But then like as your relationship grows, it's easier to talk to each other. So now that puzzle piece goes to like 2 to 3. So it's just easier and goes faster. And there are little things like that that are really cool. And I haven't seen really anything in the cell phone game that does that.
Very nice.
Another cell phone game is Friday the 13th Killer Puzzle.
I've never heard of this.
I'm a big fan of puzzle games, and I'm a big fan of horror movies.
This is a cash-in game.
No, it's not. It's done very well. It's like it's not a slide puzzle, but you play as Jason Voorhees and you try to kill as many people as you can.
I thought you're like a person playing a board game. Jason's like slowly creeping. I gotta solve this first.
You're on this grid, and you can only go like all 4 directions, but you have to go, once you swipe up, you go all the way up. Like there's no stopping. And so it's a slide puzzle where you try to figure out your way to kill other people. They had a version of this on cell phone and Switch called Slayaway Camp.
Yeah.
But this Friday the 13th one came out this year, and it plays just the same except in Friday the 13th lore, and it was really good. And if you're a fan of either puzzle games or horror genre, I would give that a shot.
Very nice.
Last game, we've talked about it. Let's go Pokemon.
Oh, yeah.
I'll let you choose whatever one you want. But just like the graphical overhaul for this was the main reason that I wanted to play it, because I played Blue growing up as a kid.
Right.
And it was like one of my first games that I really truly got deeply into, and it was awesome going back to that feeling. Granted, I didn't beat it. I think I played it for like 12, 15 hours, something like
Very
that.
nice.
That was
Bob, you
fun.
know I put a T-shirt on my Pikachu, so just saying,
I put a hat and sunglasses on my Eevee, so suck
I
it.
put that too.
All right, Andy, any honorable mentions on your side?
I felt like this year was kind of, to me, this is how I feel like the year went in video games. And if you look back at like the podcast history, this is like basically a movie podcast this year, because I think of the same kind of idea. I feel like it kind of went AAA game, couple months, AAA game, couple months, like
Smash.
yeah, big releases. Yeah. So I mean, I had trouble making a top 5 that I felt from games that came out this year. I would mention like WoW. Yeah, I'd mention Shovel Knight, Hollow Knight. Yeah, but it came out last year technically. So yeah, I mean, putting 5 on the list, games that I really played, beat, feel good about. I think I have 5.
There you go.
Oh, well, there
okay.
you go.
So that being said, let's go ahead and jump into our top 5.
Let's do it.
How's this going to work? We're just going to go through our 5s, go through our 4s in sequential order here. And is it safe to say that your guys' number 1 is going to be your game of the year?
Most definitely.
Yeah.
Most definitely. If not, clarify for the audience. But
Okay.
I think we're all going to be on the same page.
Is yours
here.
not?
No, mine is too.
Oh, okay.
As I want to assume.
Gotcha.
All right. So I'll kick off with my number 5. And my number 5 is Celeste.
Oh, nice.
So I mean, very rarely do indie games get to me, but Celeste did. Great story, very addicting gameplay where you can die immediately and jump right back in where you left off.
Yep.
And the little graphics and the way the characters talk in the game remind me of like classic Rare on the 64 days, little sound bits behind each talking.
Yeah.
That stupid grandma.
Yeah. Yeah.
Stop laughing.
I loved it. So that's why I made my number 5.
That was quick.
Yeah.
Wow. All right. My number 5 is Tetris Effect VR. I was
Ooh.
unfortunately haven't had a whole lot of time to play this because John owns it. But if I had my own VR, I'd be playing the living crap out of this game.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, not a big Tetris guy back in the day, but this is just phenomenal.
Very good.
Yeah.
All right, Jake, what was your number 5?
That was quick. Okay. I didn't beat this game, but I'm kind of like Andy to where like this year didn't have like a super solid top 5 for me. A lot of my honorable mentions I liked, but I feel like my best gaming moment has to be in the top 5.
Sure.
So God of War is my number 5.
Very nice.
I liked that moment so much that it kind of surpassed all of my honorable mentions, and it's supplanted its place into number 5 spot.
Very nice. All right, Andy.
All right, I'm gonna go with the game that I liked the least out of the games that I played a lot of, and that would be Detroit Become Human. I'm putting it at number 5. I played a lot of it. I played through a few different times, and I mean, I really enjoyed it. It's in my top 5.
Yeah.
I don't want to say like I liked it the least of whatever, but it's a good solid game. The only thing I would take away from it is that it doesn't feel like a game so much when you're playing it, because when you get so used to the controls, it's kind of like Bandersnatch on Netflix, where
There you
you're
go.
making
Nice
decisions,
comparison.
picking things. Yeah.
Don't get me started on Bandersnatch.
Wait, really?
No, not right now.
Anyway, okay. Yeah. So I gave it to Detroit Become Human.
Very nice. That's a very diverse number 5. I like it.
That's out of all the games that came out, that's one of the ones that I'm mad that I didn't play.
Sure.
I know that game's going to drop down in price like crazy. So
Yeah.
I'll pick it up when it's $20 and I'll play through it.
There you go. All right, time for our number 4s. My number 4 was Smash Ultimate. I love this is best in multiplayer. We all know that. The single player didn't live up to much of its expectations that I had built for it. I'm still working through World of Light.
I think everybody is.
Yeah, classic mode's still a work in progress, and I'm not saying I'm not enjoying my time as I do these things. It's just a grind. So, Smash is always best when you can sit down with friends and play it, and that's primarily what I do with it. I want to beat World of Light. We'll see if that actually happens, but
That's shocking to me. I would just assume that like you're the guy who likes to go and get every single trophy in Smash Brothers.
Exactly.
So for you not to complete a certain storyline in a Smash Brothers release, that's shocking. That you
Right.
wouldn't actually complete it 100%.
I'm anxious to see whether the people who have hated it or loved it, the ending that's supposed to be at the end of this campaign.
That's what makes me want to play World of Light. Like I have been, and it is a chore, but I've heard nothing but positive things about the ending. Like it's worth the grind.
So that's what I'm hoping so too, but it's going to be a while out before I get there.
I'm right there with you.
So we'll see. But it's still a great game. It's everything I wanted in Smash, as far as like the love, the spirits are okay. They're no trophy for sure.
Yeah.
But if you're talking about multiplayer and time with friends and replayability, Ultimate has that. So
My number 4 is Ultimate as well.
ooh, nice.
The most pinnacle thing for the newest game that I love, I thought the greatest change is the power up, where as you take damage or do damage or just over time, I think.
The Smash meter.
Yeah, the Smash meter.
Yeah.
I think that's the greatest implementation they've had.
Sure.
Take away the Smash ball, which was a go crazy, try to get it.
Yeah.
Instead, just have a power bar.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
it always came down to Anthony just down being it at the perfect time because he
Yeah.
dies up there.
In prior.
So I get so frustrated with some of the previous versions that it's a couple times we've played with no items, and it is just the Smash meters, which puts a lot more strategy into it, into timing it and who you're going to use it on, and then landing it, hitting it. So I thought it's pretty good.
Okay. Very nice.
My number 4 and number 3 are very close, but I put my number 4 where it is because I only played it once, and that's Tetris Effect.
Oh, okay.
I love puzzle anything, and Tetris has like mastered it ever since it came out in 1989, and I didn't know how it could like make itself better. There have been iterations of Tetris that are awesome.
Puyo Puyo?
No, I hate Puyo Puyo. That game can go
You
rotten
mean
hell.
Mean Bean Machine?
Yeah, any of those, stupid. And there's a lot of bad puzzle games, but like Tetris DS is probably the best iteration that I've ever played up until Tetris Effect. And in VR, fucking mind blowing.
Right.
I don't know. There's something special about Tetris Effect, and yeah, both of some of my favorite puzzle games mixed into one. It just works. That's my number 4, and I wish it was higher. It should be higher. If I played it more than once, it would probably be higher. But that first experience was so good. It's definitely on the top 5.
There you
4.
go.
Yep.
All right, Andy.
Number 4.
Ooh,
Octopath Traveler.
very nice.
I really like JRPGs. I could have gotten into some other ones. Xenoblade. Did that come out this year?
Yeah.
No, end of last year.
End of last year.
December.
December.
I
could've gotten into,
came
like-
out this year.
Or Ninokuni 2.
Or whatever, or Dragon Quest. But I got into Octopath. That's the one I picked. I enjoyed what I played of it. And now that I hear John talking about getting back into it, which I never beat it, which is strange to say it's my number 4 game I never beat. But from what I've played of it, I really enjoyed how the stories, how they work. The only thing that kind of turned me off of it when I did start seeing like these are all completely separate stories. They're never going to cross over. Now that I hear there's a secret boss, I'm back in.
Secret boss, you say?
Yeah, secret boss, put me in there. Octopath number 4, strong number 4.
Very good. And I'm going to piggyback off that because my number 3 is Octopath Traveler.
Go.
What brought me back to it, like I said, was the soundtrack. But this isn't too spoilery because it's not actually the details of the game. But once you complete your character's pass, which is required for this secret ending, and you do these side quests, the game makes you. It does a classic JRPG where you gotta fight the shadow versions of these big bosses you've already fought. But in that time frame, you go through a dungeon, and the game finally starts to connect pieces for you that were like, why are these people doing these things? And it creates the lore that you wanted from the get-go.
Oh.
So why people are having the actions they do are justified within this dungeon, all leading up to this final boss fight.
See, that's what I wanted from the game.
But why make that secret?
Yeah, exactly.
It seems like a weird choice. But now that I know that's there, I'm dying to learn more because I do enjoy this game. That's why it's my number 3, because I love JRPGs. I like the aesthetic that this one took. I want more of it. Soundtrack, gameplay, it's beautiful to play. Handheld for this game is fantastic. Playing this game in increments on your handheld while you got something in the background, or if you get to a boss fight, you want to pop it on the big screen. It's fantastic. It's a great feeling. So
I guess I could mention too the way they did the combat system is so simple, and I really liked it because they force you to make active decisions even in like mundane battles. They're like you have to constantly be deciding when do you spend your points to do a ton of damage, when do you use it to heal, different little just tiny things that make you engaged in the game the whole time.
that and like it's one of the best battle themes I've heard in a JRPG in a long time.
I like 'em
it's
too.
just very catchy. So like I said, I'm still working my way through it, but I mean, to say that the time I've had with it, it justifies its spot in my number 3. So
My number 3 is also Octopath Traveler. Yeah, so great game, amazing game. Put about 60 hours into it. I think where I left off, because I didn't finish it, was of my main party, I had 3 of the final chapters done. So I had 5 chapters technically to finish, and the other 4 characters that I wasn't gung-ho about, one of them's like level 30 and the rest of them are like 18, 20, something like that. So there's a lot of work to do with them. I think they're all in like chapter 2. So that was my main gripe about the game, kind of took me out of it, was I was coming to the realization that I can't progress their stories without them, and now I've got to put all this time back into the game to level them, and I just didn't like the way they played. So
These are a lot of negatives for your number 3.
well, I mean, it was a fantastic game. Besides,
I'm guessing my comments resonate with
yeah,
you as well.
like a lot of this thing.
It's
Yeah,
a great
yeah,
game,
yeah.
but its core idea that everything revolves around Dawn kind of sucks. But it's a little annoying. I know what you
The
mean.
majority of the pieces there are something special.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Not as a solid, as a whole. There's
Like I enjoyed like the time I played because it was 60 hours of stuff I love.
Yeah.
I don't even know if I've ever actually played a JRPG before.
What?
I
Yeah,
don't,
not
I don't
his
know
thing.
that I have.
Wow.
Wow.
So that's why another
Alright.
thing was I wasn't sure if I was going to like this because I've never really played one.
Okay.
And this was a great introduction to the series.
Does this make you want to play more JRPGs?
Yes and no. Like, I don't mind the grind. There's a lot of games where I've done where it's just an ungodly amount of grinding.
Yeah, you play WoW for...
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And so grinding's not a big thing to me, but when I'm forced to play things that I don't want for an extensive amount of time, that's where it kind of bothers me.
Yeah.
So
I want to
But better than Smash.
I want to go on record that Brent skipped our Octopath episode to play Octopath Traveler.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
I did?
That's awesome. Yeah.
Like, hey, Brent, gonna come to our Octopath podcast today? Grinding on his controller. Probably not. Okay, thanks.
I'm busy.
All right, so we're back to Jake.
Yeah, it's me. My number 3 is Smash Ultimate.
Ooh.
I had a lot of fun with it. Of course, it's fun to play with others, but I've had a lot of fun playing it by myself too. Going through each and every character in adventure mode has been fantastic.
It's fun.
And I probably only put like 25 hours into this game so far, but every single bit of that has been super fun. Even World of Light I like. I haven't spent a lot of time in there, to be honest. I've probably spent maybe a couple hours, but
Sure.
it's fun. There's enough variety. Smash tends to get old for me, just doing the same thing over and over again, and there's some variation, but you're still doing the same fucking fights over and over again. But
Right.
they do something different with this game to where like I'm enjoying it like crazy, and I'm excited to put more time into it. And anytime that there are people over, you can always throw Smash in to have a good time. So
Very
Smash
nice.
is my number 3.
All right, Andy.
All right, number 3, I'm going with Spider-Man, which made my top 5 because I am an American and I don't hate our country or things made in our country. It's a great tale. I really liked the story. This was my second favorite story. I'm with Jake. That was your number 1, right? Story.
Yeah,
Yeah. Okay. I really like the story. Just God of War just was a little better to me, but I'm a big fan of Spider-Man. Always have been. That was kind of one of the first like comics I started reading as a kid, and this story, it gives you a lot of the same beats that you expect, but it puts enough of a twist on it that I really enjoy it. And kind of like I said, the gameplay never gets stale. The soundtrack is great. The only thing I disliked was kind of how the villains came together in the end. It was a little weak, but there's still some good moments in there. Great game, number 3, loved it.
Very nice. All right, so let's jump into our number 2. My number 2 was actually pretty easy to come to, and that was Tetris Effect. Just to add on to what you guys have already said, the loop of it's easy to, in anything Tetris is to go for the high score, right?
Yeah.
And when somebody is better than you, in my case Danielle,
Oh,
knows
yeah?
in every aspect of
Good.
a level of that game, there is an urge to like, oh, I want to try and beat her.
Yeah.
But when it's a back and forth of you keep topping each other, it's fun. But then there's moments where you just want to turn it to easy mode and just relax and enjoy like the VR part of it, and just like the Tetris becomes the background, and the background becomes like what you're enjoying.
And they kind of switch the gameplay up. Like normally in Tetris, your main goal is to get like a Tetris, which is 4 blocks.
Right.
There are things you can get like a 20 combo if you want in Tetris
Yeah.
Effect. Like they do certain things to where like you build a meter up and then everything starts to slow down and you can try to just get every single Tetris that you can to make the biggest chain.
Right.
It's cool. The changes that usually when you try to change Tetris, you just make it worse.
Sure.
This adds on top of it.
Plus
Yeah.
the modes.
Yeah.
Where they throw like random bricks and you have to like...
Yeah, so like what you were saying there is like the online modes are not like extensive, but there's just unique twist to gameplay that like, oh, this looks fun to try. And you want to keep improving there because they rank you with like your A and B and C. And Danielle's getting like S and double S on some of
Nice.
these things.
Oh, wow.
So she's just mastering it. And I had to give up on score because I just couldn't keep up. So when I go play Tetris Effect now, it's just like, okay, can I beat where I left off on my score? But also just like, I'm going to pick 2 or 3 of my favorite tracks in the environments and just go through them because there's so much fun. And people are praising it for without VR. I can't imagine not playing this in VR at
Yeah,
all.
once you've played it in VR, I don't ever want to not play it in VR.
Definitely, I mean, it was close, but it's my number 2.
How much time do you think you put into Tetris Effect?
So we're working our way up to level 50 because it gives you levels. And
Yeah.
level 50, spoiler alert, gives you classic Tetris.
Okay.
So the time that between Danielle and I, it's probably pushing 100 hours.
Yeah. This is my one regret. One of my regrets for 2018 is not buying this and playing it on my own because I am just itching to do it. But
Yeah.
I'm super cheap and I want it to be like $20. $20 for a Tetris game is like the sweet spot to where I can buy it.
Right, and the reason it didn't come close to my time-consuming award because it's not me who's sinking the most time into it.
Right.
So Danielle can sit. She's got to a point where she can start with the very first scenario and go through the entire game
Damn.
and not miss a beat.
Damn, that's awesome.
Yeah, so
Nice.
there's a rhythm to it,
Yeah.
and she's got it mastered.
During Black Friday, they had the PlayStation VR bundle for $200, and I thought about buying it just to get Tetris Effect. Like that's how good of a game it is.
Yeah,
It's an awesome experience in VR.
there you go.
Dang.
All right, Brent, you're number 2.
So my number 2 and number 1 were extremely tough. Kind of already touched on it in one other category, but number 2, I went back and forth for a long time about it. Actually, so my number 2 is actually Celeste.
Ooh,
Wow. I didn't like I told these guys before we started. I actually didn't realize how much of an indie game I am a fan of. If you look at my Steam library, there's a godly amount of indie games in there, and I love those games. Those are probably actually some of the ones I've put the most time into.
You can get those games super cheap on
Yeah,
Steam.
that's the other thing.
Every
Like,
single time.
the amount of reward that you can get from an indie game for how much you spend on it, especially on like Steam Summer Sale or Winter Sale, it's absurd. Like for 99 cents to $10, you can get an amazing game for it. But anyways, so my number 2 is Celeste. My number 1 just barely beats it out. Celeste was an amazing experience. I'm still not done with it. I'll probably go back.
are you playing it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Here pretty soon again.
Yeah, beat it.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying. It's,
Really?
It's fucking good.
Yeah. It's just tough.
It's
just
very
really
tough. Yeah.
Yeah, so.
Do you guys use assist mode at all?
No.
No. Okay.
Get that pussy shit out of here.
Yeah.
All right, Jake.
Okay. Insomniac Games has made some of my favorite games of all time. Ratchet and Clank, I fucking loved. And one of their hidden gems on Xbox One, Sunset Overdrive, that nobody has seemingly played, has a lot of like the skeleton of Spider-Man. Like you can go on walls where you just like run sideways, and they don't have swinging, but they have like a type of jumping mechanic that is kind of like Spider-Man. And they just took that awesome game, built up on that engine, and made an even better experience. Made it into something popular in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. It's not cinematic, but it's kind of like it's in that realm just because it feels so just like engaging to me, just like a movie would. Spider-Man has one of the best. It has the best story that I've played in 2018. It has some of the best gameplay. Like the first time you learn how to swing, and so, it took me about like 10 minutes to get used to the swinging mechanics. But once you do, you're just fucking in.
Right.
And it's so embracive, and you just get sucked in like crazy. And the battle mechanics, they're fucking good too. It kind of takes what Batman, the Arkham series did.
Yeah.
Except I'm better at this than I am at Arkham. Arkham, I never really got my brain around some of the tricks that you could do. But here, they bring like the Ratchet and Clank wheel to where like you can pick any gadget. It's back here except with different type of webs. So something in my brain clicked, and I'm like, okay, I can do this, change it on the fly, go get like 100+ combos, and it's so fun. I have nothing but good things to say about this, except for some of like the stealth shit with Mary Jane and Miles Morales.
Yeah.
But even then, like story-wise, you do a couple shitty ones with Mary Jane, and then there's a story beat where it's her and Spider-Man, and then everything that you did is kind of worth it because that experience to me was so cool.
Right.
Yeah, that scene was great. I call it a scene because it feels like a scene because it's like you're playing through a movie kind of.
Yeah.
I'm with you.
And there are different takes on Spider-Man lore that this just kind of throws away and does their own fucking thing. And I was shocked by it because the original Spider-Man came out when I was 11 years old. So I've been a Spider-Man fan ever since then. It sunk its teeth into me, and I've loved everything Spider-Man. And I thought that I knew the majority of things in this universe. And I'm like, okay, I'm playing this. It's fun, but I'm never really going to be surprised again.
Sure.
And this game fucking did that.
Very good.
It's so good. Spider-Man's my number 2. 2 and 1 were kind of close, but there were just a little bit more negatives in Spider-Man than my number 1.
Very good.
All right, number 2, I'm going with this guy, God of War.
Ooh.
For some of the same reasons you just said with the combat exploration. I feel like the world not being like an open world game. I mean, there's parts where it kind of is, but not being like a pure open world game. They really put a lot of little details into things that you can really tell they've kind of poured over every inch of this thing. The combat feels great. It's one of those things that it's kind of hard to get into at the beginning, and then once you start learning what you're doing, it just feels normal and second nature kind of. I like the mechanics they added. I like the kind of midway twist they give you. The whole story was great, as I mentioned earlier. God of War number 2, easy choice.
Very nice. Another great segue, because guess what my number 1 is?
Oh, there we go.
It is God of War. And the reason it fits into my number 1 is, this might be unfair, but it's very Zelda-esque to me, which Zelda formula is always a gameplay loop that I enjoy. We don't need to go any more about the story. The narrative is fantastic. And I found myself wanting to... I didn't platinum the game, but I wanted to do as much as possible within my skill. And that included going back and facing the Valkyries, who were extremely irritating towards the end. They get so tough, and I think Brent can contest that I spent several tries over an hours trying to beat Valkyries.
One of them was just...
It got...
Stop.
Take a breath, bud.
But to keep me interested that long, and like I did I really enjoyed the story. I enjoyed the epicness that is usually in God of War games. It bleeds into this one to a whole new level in the lore that goes into, like, what do you call it? Not Viking, but the mythology they're building there.
Norse,
yeah.
Norse, yeah.
It's so good, and I'm excited to see where they go next, and I'm glad that it got the reboot that it did. And on all levels, whether it be music, gameplay, soundtrack, my response to it, my excitement for it is why it lands my number 1.
So, if you haven't already figured out, I'm not a console player. The only console
What?
Wait a second. Hang on.
I do have consoles. I just think God of War and Spider-Man are garbage. No. I don't have consoles. The only console I do have is the Switch. And I'm finding myself actually probably more time on it than I am on my PC these days.
What?
Wow.
That's
Weirdly.
insane. You have like 3 screens on your PC.
I have one now, and it's just enormous.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm back.
Counts as 3.
Yeah.
That's not cutting back.
So anyways, my number 1 is Subnautica.
Wow.
Oh,
nice.
This
You liked
came
it that
out of-
much?
just came
Yeah.
out of nowhere.
Well, just
You've been quiet about this game.
You don't live with them anymore, John.
That's true. That's
I
true.
should,
Wow.
It's hard to say. So when my friends first introduced me to it, they were just telling me all the hours they were putting into it, and I didn't think anything of it. And then I looked into it, and I was actually pretty intrigued with the videos I was watching. And then I started playing it, and it is just amazing. Some of the things about it, like resource management and stuff like that, would normally bother me in different games, but in this game it doesn't even faze me at all. It's never bothered me. It's just amazing. And then the exploration and the visuals of the exploration. So you might not think that the ocean part of it, how it's all ocean based, would be boring, but I don't know, it's breathtaking.
It's Aquaman good?
Aquaman's gonna make $1 billion.
Just kidding. Keep going.
It honestly is. Yeah. It's disgusting.
I don't know, even you just ruined it. Thanks.
It says number 1, John.
Yeah.
Sorry.
But anyway, so it's kind of got some like Minecraft feel to it, but it's so much better than Minecraft as far as gathering resources, building up your ships, your little mechs, your gadgets that you use.
I've heard it
to
compared
fight.
to Firewatch.
Yeah, but this stuff you actually do a lot more than Firewatch. Where Firewatch is just a walking simulator.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
Whereas this isn't that. So, yeah, phenomenal game. If you have a PC, I would highly suggest taking it out because it's like $20 normal, but you can
I
get it on
think it
Steam
is coming
sale.
to consoles, if not already.
Yeah, I highly suggest it.
Okay.
Very cool.
Very good.
Total surprise.
Yeah. You said you probably already guessed this. I had no idea you were going to do that.
I kind of saw it coming as you were going on.
Building up to it.
Yep.
All
My
right,
number
Jake.
1 should be pretty easy, I would think, because I haven't talked about Celeste yet.
That's true.
Celeste is my number 1. Super Meat Boy is one of my top 10 games of all time.
Wow.
And I think this surpasses that.
Wow.
Which is crazy to me because I didn't think that was possible. But it has the same gameplay, except it, just like Tetris Effect, it adds on top of that to make for an even more difficult experience, but you never get mad I mean, you get mad, I guess.
Yeah.
But you never want to stop playing because of your frustration. You're always like, okay, I fucked up here. I need to do this again because I want to see what other thing I can get to next. Because each screen is like a different fucking level.
Right.
It's so good. And not only is the gameplay good, but the story's good too.
Yeah.
And not only is the story good, but the music's good too.
Weird.
Like everything. Yeah. It's so good. Everything about this, I can't say a bad thing about. Like even the story has like a deeper meaning to it, where it talks about like depression and anxiety and all that stuff.
Right.
And I've had to deal, not myself, but I've had to deal with a couple people who have had like panic attacks.
Sure.
And there are certain moments in the story to where like it really like dug deep in me. Like, oh hey, I can totally feel what is happening right now on like a super weird level. Like
Yeah.
something that video games really don't do for me. But that the story isn't the main reason why I played it. I wanted to climb up that mountain. I wanted to keep on going through this world because I don't know, there's something about this fucking game, and I'm big into platformers. Mm-hmm. In my opinion, this is one of the best platformers ever made.
So before we jump to Andy, since the three of us have played Celeste,
Yeah.
I left off like on the last area,
Okay.
but I think my death toll is in the 760 range.
Yeah.
And I think I only have like 30 strawberries.
Oh, that's it?
You didn't go for him?
No.
See,
Wow.
I'm very close to 1,000 deaths, but that's because I go for strawberries.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I love going, and that's the thing. You don't have to do those, but it's
No.
just an extra variable of hardness that you can add to your experience if you want to.
Yep.
So that's what makes it even that much better is when you do go for the strawberries. When you die, it's not punishing. Like you're going through maybe if you do it correctly, like 10 seconds, 5 seconds, little bits like sections. So it's not super annoying. Like Cuphead's amazing.
Yeah.
But when you die, you go all the way back to the beginning,
yeah.
which is so frustrating.
Yeah.
Which does make you want to stop playing it.
And this, it's one screen, and you're like, okay, I know I can do this because I can see everything. It's fucking simple.
Right.
It's right here. I know what to do. I just need to do it.
Right.
I
Even
love
if it's
that type of
dying at the
gameplay.
exact same spot over
Yeah.
and over and over again. You're
It's just getting like your muscle reflexes to do exactly what needs to be done.
Right.
And like
Yeah.
split second accuracy in this game.
Yeah.
I love this game. I think everybody should play it. I have nothing bad to say about it. Celeste is it's a 5 out of 5 of me for sure.
Very good.
Yeah, go out and get it. Especially, like I said, Games for Gold, Xbox January. Download it. Just try it for yourself.
Even for the Switch, it's only like 15 or
Yeah,
20,
I bought it on
25,
Black
something.
Friday because I was just in like a mood to buy things, and it wasn't cheap at all. It was still $15, but I wanted to do it because I heard nothing but good things, and I'm so glad I did.
All right, Andy. Sorry to hate to follow
Oh
that.
no, I'm gonna have to play some Celeste and Subnautica. We've both been kind of on my radar, but I just haven't picked them up.
you
Number
go.
1, Smash Ultimate is
Really?
my favorite game of the year.
Good.
Easily. I've been downplaying how much I've been playing this fucking
Have ya?
game. Oh yeah. So I've beaten World of Light. It
Wow.
took hours and hours and hours.
So without spoiling anything, what about this ending?
The ending. Okay, so the ending cinematic, whatever. The ending stage is great. There's you have to get to it. There's like a stage and a boss and it's interesting how they do it. It's not like anything else in the game. I've been playing a lot of this. So ever since they fixed the online, I've been going online. I really like playing it online now
good.
that it's
Awesome.
fixed. It's great. I have all but 4 spirits.
Oh my
I
god!
have been getting
Holy
the
shit!
spirit items to shuffle that board up. It's really frustrating at this point because they added the Mario Party
Yeah,
spirits.
that's why you were creaming your jeans over
Yeah.
that. Like, oh, I need to get every
They
single
added the
spirit.
Mario Party spirits, which put the partner Eevee and partner Pikachu spirits canonically on the board. So now I can't get 2 until they decide to put them in there.
You can just
upsetting.
borrow my copy of Let's Go Pikachu or Eevee.
It's also true. You just
And
have
mine.
the same file.
Uh-huh.
Or Brent's, yeah.
Yeah, and anyway, you guys have physical things?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I might do that sometime. Anyway, I've been playing the hell out of this game. I've played everyone in adventure mode. I've almost broken the entire Smash challenge board. I've done it all. I love it. It's amazing. It's the best Smash game they've ever come out with. I'm a huge fan of Smash. Everything building up to it, even everything they've put in the game, it's just great. Mechanically, it works very well. I'm not a big fighting game guy, but I enjoy playing this competitively, quote unquote, online.
Yeah.
That's mad props, because
Yeah,
I don't know too many people who've taken the time to go into the spirits like you
Yeah,
have.
every single
yeah,
spirit
yeah.
is insanity, but
Yeah, that's mad bragging
Well,
rights.
so once you beat story mode, you have a good majority of them.
Okay.
And once you start doing the spirit board, some of them go by really fast. I mean, it's not like I've put 200 hours into this thing.
Okay,
getting spirits.
gotcha.
It's not too bad.
they just added the NES spirits. Are you freaking out about that?
Then add any new ones.
They're not new?
Trust me, I checked all of them. I'm not gonna let
shit.
I'm not gonna let my board get too out of control. I definitely give number one, and this is the game I'm gonna be playing a lot this year, I guess. We're 2019 now. I'm gonna be playing this through the year when they release new challengers. I'm gonna keep picking it up. It's the game of the year for me.
Very good. So, because we got to wrap things up, we're just going to do a little couple questions here.
Okay.
Just to wrap up our final thoughts. 2018 compared to 2017. 2017 was a hell of a year,
Yeah. It's not even close.
especially with Nintendo taking the Switch launch and the games that we got.
Yep.
So, Jake, you just said not even close in comparison.
2017 is my favorite year of gaming, period.
Yeah.
Wow.
And this, can't even hold a candle to last year.
Yeah, on the Nintendo front, definitely.
Yeah, and I'm a big Nintendo guy. So.
Yeah, that makes sense. But you guys,
Was last year bigger than this year?
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
definitely.
You're talking about playtime alone between Zelda and Odyssey.
Odyssey.
Oh my god.
Just disgusting
Yep.
amounts of
Those
hours.
two. That's it. That's
Yeah.
all you
Yeah,
need. You're
like
done.
I kind of, and then last year we've had that whole argument about the top 10. This year I think we would have had trouble with that because there's so
Yeah.
few games that really came out.
I agree.
It was just kind of a slow year. A lot of good big releases, AAAs, but a slow year overall.
Plus the portability of the Switch, and then Jake and I going to E3 and just having them there.
Yeah.
It's just great.
Something special.
Yeah.
Yeah, as of 2017, with such a Nintendo front, you feel like you got something almost every month.
Yeah.
In between, like Brent said, Zelda, Mario, and for me, Splatoon 2, like that was a
Yeah.
good chunk
Yep,
of
that was
my,
a good month.
Yeah, that was a good chunk of my year last year. And this year, like, yeah, I was still selective of what I had to play, but I wasn't like day one sitting down blasting through this. I kind of got that with God of War, got that a little bit with Spider-Man. Most of these games I had to put things on my radar, like Celeste, to come around to. Octopath, I wasn't going to get it from the get-go, but I really had to invest in it in order to get addicted to it and really enjoy it. So
I'm more of a movie guy than a game guy anyway. So definitely towards the end of the year and when we had to make our lists, I've played more games and watched movies. And in a way, I feel like I need to do that more often. But this year didn't really have a lot that enticed me too much. So
if you put Spider-Man game with the Spider-Verse, you got a good year for Spider-Man.
damn right.
So, all right, last question here is just we'll have a separate piece for this, but your favorite game you're looking forward to in 2019.
Oh shit.
Anything that jumps to mind. If you guys need time,
Yeah, I haven't thought about this.
I can. I'll lead off with this.
You should go over a list. Do you have a list?
I don't.
Damn.
So
Okay, great.
this is just from trailers, and we actually don't have a set date, but I'm guessing it's coming this year, and that is Cyberpunk. I think
That's not coming.
Really?
I
That's not
think-
coming this
I
year.
think it's coming in 2019.
I think Death Stranding's coming this year. Woo.
That's the. I mean, CD Projekt Red needs no further explanation. Witcher, all that. If they can get to that level and intrigue me like Witcher did with Cyberpunk,
Yep.
that's gonna be, if not one of my game of the years for sure.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing that comes to mind is I can't even remember its name, but they showed it at E3 where it's like a 4-person, first-person or third-person shooter or like a sniper.
Anthem.
Anthem.
Oh,
yes.
Anthem.
Yeah, Anthem.
Yeah.
Okay.
Really?
Yeah, I'm curious to see. I'm really hoping it doesn't bomb, but
That comes out in February.
I could see that
Yeah.
going either way.
That's definitely on my
Yeah.
radar.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very good.
Mine would probably have to be, if it comes out in 2019, Last of Us Part 2.
Yeah.
Very good.
I am so stoked for that game, and I thought it was going to come out in 2018, and it just didn't. And it's kind of went radio silent, which scares me.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's going to get pushed to like next generation consoles or at
Yeah.
least to 2020.
Right.
I have no idea,
This is a
but
very interesting year for Sony, so I'm excited to see how
yeah,
it plays
it's
out.
gonna be very strange, I think, to say the least, because we don't know dick about them besides like Days Gone.
Well, like you guys alluded to, there's not much too known about the video game release schedule outside of like
Yeah.
Q1.
Which makes me think new consoles are on the
Yeah.
horizon.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's not been a lot of announcements. I don't really have anything I'm super pumped for. I mean, if they were to come out and say Death Stranding's coming this year, that would be it. I
Yeah.
don't think that's going to happen. Same with Cyberpunk. I don't think that's happening.
Nope.
But I'm interested to see Kingdom Hearts 3,
That comes
yeah,
out very
which is
shortly.
which is coming
Couple
out this
weeks.
month.
Yeah.
I'm just interested. We'll say that much. I'm interested in that.
I'm excited to jump back into a game or series that I have not into in a long time, and that is the Resident Evil 2 reboot.
Oh yeah.
That game looks so good. I'm hoping I can make time to squeeze that into February.
Sure.
But like I said, the release schedule is very short now for what games we know, but I think there's enough at the beginning of this year to get us going. So we'll see.
2019 prediction is that 2020 is going to have better games.
Save the predictions for the extra.
Oh, yeah,
Okay.
we gotta do that too.
All right, so that's been episode 70, a very special here of Super Media All Stars. You can check us out on social media at Facebook at Super Media All Stars. You can find us on Twitter at SmashPod. You can find us on Instagram at Super Media All Stars.
You can find me on Instagram at Steelbook Obsessed. To go along with the best games, I'm putting up like video game VHSs and video game DVDs that I have. So have fun with that.
Very nice.
Yep.
And you're also doing Cinema Obsessed on the side.
Cinema Obsessed on YouTube. I haven't put a review up since Christmas because there hasn't really been a lot out. But
Right.
I plan on seeing Escape Room, so watch out for that.
Yeah, let me know how
Alright.
that goes. Because
Yeah,
it's
I'm-
got the chick from Daredevil.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll be tuning in for that one. You know
This
me.
being a video special, but you can find this episode on all your podcast streaming services.
Yep.
Sub us on Spotify.
Except Spotify.
Wait,
Except
what?
Spotify.
We'll
on a
get
second.
by the end of 2019, we'll be on Spotify.
Calling it now.
Yep.
We'll see.
It's happening.
But audience, thanks for watching and listening. Guys, thanks for joining me. We'll see you next time.
For you.
Bye bye.